Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation of CBL basketball on the Coliseum Sports Network. We begin a new week, week 2, with a regional rivalry in the Eastern Conference between the Kansas City Monks and the Omaha Racers. I'm Raymond Sims here on the call. Glad you could join us for another week of action. Have today's Thursday matchup, and then we'll have games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So both the Kansas City Monks and Omaha Racers coming in, expecting to determine who's the best in the Midwest. Omaha coming off of a huge win in this very building, the CenturyLink Center, over the London Bulldogs last week to close out week 1, while Kansas City kicked off week 1 and ostensibly the season with a loss down in Kansas City to the Lehigh Valley Jets. Samuel Dalembert, Nikola Vucevic tipping it off, and Omaha winning the tip. We're underway from Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you for joining us this evening on the Coliseum Sports Network. Omaha not wasting any time trying to work inside, and Thompson, as he tries to attack the basket, draws the foul on Tyreke Evans, his first. So this will be a sideline inbounds for Monroe, looking for an open man. He'll just hand it off to Vucevic and go from there. Not the best spacing here, but works it over to George. George step back jumper. He'll fade it away instead and miss. Rebound by Garnett. Long two by Joe Johnson, a miss. 30 seconds and change into this game. Neither team budging just yet. Here's Lillard. He'll put it up from mid-range and knock it down. First 2 points of the game. Good by Dame Lillard. And we reach the 11-minute mark here in the first quarter. Ellis with the ball on the wing. Works around a double screen, but then runs right back into traffic. Able to pull off enough moves to get it opening, and he'll knock down the first shot of the game for Kansas City. So this could be an intriguing matchup today. Monta Ellis at the point against Damian Lillard also at the point. Backdoor cut to Greg Monroe. Gives Omaha the lead again. 21 left here in the first quarter. Ball to Evans, who only had 2 points against Lehigh Valley. Totally shut down there by Kobe Bryant. Let's see if he can do better against Klay Thompson. Looks like his number's going to be called. Three-pointer is no good. Put back slam by Kevin Garnett. It's been a chess match early on here between Kansas City and Omaha. Kansas City really lost control of things in the second half as they lose control of Paul George. He rolls right down Broadway and lays it in. 6-4 lead for Omaha. Ellis trying to fight his way inside, gets into the lane, goes up and draws the foul and one. That'll be the first one on Vucevic. Monta Ellis going to work here early on. Monta Ellis doing what he was essentially tasked with doing when head coach Bernard Slaughter made him the starting point guard as he tacks on the free throw. 5 points early here for Ellis. Ellis leading all Monks with 23 points as the three-pointers knocked down by Paul George. So now George has 5 to lead his squad, and the Racers are up by 2. 9 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. In the corner again, Ellis striking back. 8 points for him, has yet to miss. Play being set up here. Lillard running through the set. And he eventually gets it, even though Ellis was right there. Works around the screen and is able to get the baseline jumper. So Lillard getting involved. He now has 4. High shooting marks early on here for the Monks and the Racers. Evans trying to fight his way inside. Good defense by Klay. Works it outside to Johnson. Joe trying to work his way in. Gets it to Dalembert instead and misses. George pulls up from 3. No good. And Evans pulling down the board. Monks in transition, ahead to Johnson, shoots over 2 Racers and knocks it down. And a miscommunication on the inbound means Kansas City will get it back with a chance to extend the lead. Will the Monks capitalize on the gaff? Johnson puts up the 2, rolls in and out. And Dalembert almost gets the rebound. Vucevic man-mans it out of his hands. Thompson for 3, no good. Here's Joe, pushes it ahead to Ellis, missing. Spin move for George. And the shot's no good. So a bit of a stalemate here. Evans pulling up and knocking it down. I thought I saw someone slap his hand on the way up. But no call. So Kansas City ahead by 3. 6:50 remaining in the first. Thompson open for 3. That's a bad idea every time. So Kansas City doesn't pull away for long, as Klay's able to tie things up at 14. 6.5 left in the first. Ball to Ellis. He cannot finish off the left winger. George able to collect it. Pulls up for 3. Oh, man. A heat check 3 by Paul George. Didn't even bother to run a set. He just saw the opportunity from straight away. That's confidence for you. Evans, on the other hand, he's just hanging out straight away. And Kansas City stuck in a holding pattern here on offense. Evans going to have to do something with it. He does! He responds with the 3 of his own. And so Evans, with that 3, ties it up at 17. Tyreke Evans now has 5 points. That is his season high. 5:45 left in the first. It's been a close one early on here in the first quarter from CenturyLink Center in Omaha, Nebraska. 2 regional rivals playing like actual rivals. Tied up at 17. We saw Paul George come down the floor, and instantly, as soon as he was at his spot, straightaway 3-point range where Lillard is now, he pulls up and knocks down the 3 almost instantly. Then on the other end, Tyreke Evans at the top tries to, Thompson knocking down a long 2 of his own. But Tyreke Evans comes up the floor from the same position, tries to call a play. That play breaks down. Stagnant offense, and Evans just waits until the end of the shot clock, and he does the same. So 2 different approaches and the same result. We have our first set of substitutions here in the game. Michael Beasley, he's not afraid to put up the shot. Here comes Omaha ahead to Monroe, who bounces it around and in. Every starter has scored for Omaha except Nikola Vucevic. He's not looked to score. Same deal for Kansas City and their starting center, Samuel Dalembert. Beasley himself is trying to get on the board. He's the first bench scored to score in this game, 21-19 now. Lillard pulling up. Missing. Beasley with the rebound all over the place here early on. Here's Ellis, works it over to Johnson. Ellis knocks down the jumper, ties it back up at 21. And Ellis already has 10 points today. We'll see if this is the beginnings of a huge day at the office. Vucevic stuck in a holding pattern as they give it back to George to figure out what to do. Guarded by Johnson, pulls up from three, way outside. On target, but no good, and Ellis comes up with the volleyball rebound. Way ahead, Evans pulls up mid-range, no good. And George comes up with it himself. So he puts up the shot on one end and then gets the miss on the other. Works it over in the corner to Lillard for three. That one rolls in and out. And now we're back off to the races. Here's Johnson. Omaha has numbers, and he finds that out as he's blocked on the floater. Dalembert misses the long shot, and now here comes Omaha the other way. Vucevic rolls right past Sammy Dalembert, and that's a 2-point lead here for Omaha, and a timeout called by Kansas City. So all 5 starters have scored for the Racers with 3:01 left in the first. .301 here in the first quarter. Now 3 minutes even. More substitutions here for Kansas City and for Omaha. Omaha's brought in an entirely new unit. Here's Alec Burks to Trey Burke. Three-pointer for Burks, no good. And loose ball foul over on the other end of the key. That's on Noel. 2:40 here in the first quarter. Burke sets up shop in the key and draws the foul. So 2 fouls on successive possessions. Here's Trey Burke at the line. Burke coming off the bench in that loss to Lehigh Valley, 15 minutes. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He was brought in with the intention of him coming off the bench as a microwave point guard. Guy that can come in and get hot quickly when Monta Ellis is out. And he makes both free throws. 23 all here, 2.5 left in the first quarter. It has been a good one so far, and now the second unit is tasked with keeping that momentum. Goran Dragic helps the cause, and it's now 25-23. Eli up top, works it around to Burke. Burke in trouble now, double team, kicks it over to Eli, who doesn't have that kind of range, so gonna have to reset here on the ball side. Goes up with a lot of contact, doesn't draw the foul, and now Omaha's on the run. Here's Wesley Matthews. He'll put it up, and he's blocked by Beasley. And out with it comes Kansas City. Beasley ahead to Burke, and he's able to get it off the backboard and in. First field goal of the game for Trey Burke. Dragic setting up Omaha in the horns. Korver for three. And he cannot make his first field goal attempt of the game. 25 all. Kansas City looking to take the lead. Here's Burks, himself from Kansas City. or from the Kansas City area, rather. Beasley pulls away for three, sinks it. Here's Dragic fighting his way inside, kicks it back out, Korver. Ball to Matthews, works it over to Noel, who almost loses it. Tries to run inside against Eli, goes up, draws the foul. So that's the second team foul on the Monks, and Noel's at the line. He's going to shoot two. Considering the blowout that the Bulldogs Racers game was, all 12 active players were able to get plenty of time out on the floor. Noel got 18 minutes, scored 10 points, 4 rebounds, and a block. As he misses the first free throw. Considering the variance in talent in this league, and there's only 8 teams, but the talent varies so much depending on the wants of the front office and the coach. We'll find out if that 121-81 win for Omaha is the biggest margin of victory we'll see all season. Burke in and out on the three. Under 30 seconds left here in the first. All down low to Noel. And tried to hand it off to Matthews and couldn't make the exchange. So we've seen some fundamental mistakes here, both out of the starters. We saw that happen with Nikola Vucevic and Paul George on that inbound earlier. Now we just see it there with Nerlens Noel and Wesley Matthews. You don't want to lose the fundamentals even when you win by a lot. Got to keep the momentum going. Trey Burke misses the last shot of the quarter. And that is how we will end things, with Kansas City ahead by 2, 28-26. This is CBL Basketball on the Coliseum Sports Network. Welcome back to Kansas City here. If you are enjoying this game so far, and it's a close one, 28-26, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We will have more CBL action for you down the line, especially on this Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of people are going to be enjoying this weekend, the unofficial end to summer. Our next game up, coming on Friday, it'll be the Las Vegas Silver Stars against the Mexico City Guerreros, and you'll be able to see that, of course, here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Beasley starts off the second with a three-pointer. Eight already here for Michael Beasley. He was another one of those guys that Bernard Slaughter wanted to be kind of a microwave player. In this case, he's more so in the front court. He usually spells Kevin Garnett. He really isn't playing as much as he used to. Noel knocks it down underneath, his first field goal of the game. A little over 11 minutes here in the second quarter. Burke tries to shoot over Dragic, no avail. Eli comes up with the ball, puts up the shot, and draws the foul. And that's the first on Tristan Thompson. So 11:04 left here in the second quarter. And Kansas City on a run early on here. And the and one opportunity goes unutilized. 5-point lead here for Kansas City. Ball swung back to the side with Matthews. He'll go up and draw the foul. That'll be on Beasley. That'll be Kansas City's first team foul of the quarter. And the first personal on Michael Beasley. So Wesley Matthews tried to do what he could on the offensive end and came up empty in 19 minutes of play. 0 for 6. So this free throw he just made, that is his season high here for the Racers. Definitely a stark contrast from how useful he was with the Portland Trail Blazers for several seasons. He signed with the Mavericks over the summer. Now he has 2 points, and that is the most he's had in a game all year. Did have 3 rebounds and a block, though, so still helpful on the defensive end. And he gets a rebound right here. He's on the run. Kansas City has the numbers. Bounce pass ahead to Dragic. And the fast break layup is good. Wesley Matthews was brought in for his versatility on the offensive and defensive end, and he shows both skills in a single play. Here's Korver on Burke. And the ball lost in the process. It will go to Omaha. So last touch there on Burke. So Garnett comes back in. Tyreke Evans comes back in. Dragic spin move. Couple of fancy footwork moves, and it doesn't equal a field goal for Omaha. Here's Burke. The floater stuffed by Noel. Here comes Omaha. Dragic's going to slow things down as the Monks regain numbers. Works around a Noel screen. Kicks it in the corner. That's Korver for 2. That is a long 2. Looked like his feet were on the line, but all the same, Korver scoring his first field goal of the game brings Omaha ahead by 1. Evans now sees an opening. He's going inside and draws the blocking foul. That'll be the first one on Wesley Matthews' second team foul on Thompson. Looks like we're going to see some more substitutions in a moment. If you look at the back or the top of your screen and you see the guys hanging out there at the scorer's table. We're going to wait to see the result of Evans' first free throw, and it is good. Ties the game back up at 34. Kansas City and Omaha, not the only regional rival that will be facing off this week. And we'll also have on Saturday the Alaska Glacier Bears taking on the Seattle Emeralds. So that one, the battle for the Northwest. Here's Vucevic under the basket, putting it up and in. So 4 points here for the for Vucevic, 16 points in the paint for the Racers. And with 8:45 left here in the second quarter, both teams have refused to budge so far. Johnson gets Korver to bite on the fake and then just shoots over him the second time around, closer to the basket. It's 4 points for Joe Johnson, and the game is tied at 36. Dragic tries to hand it off to Tristan Thompson. That's deflected in the paint. Now Kansas City's on the run. Hands it off to Ellis. Shot on the low block is good. First couple of points here in the second quarter for Monta Ellis. He already had 10 coming into the new quarter. Ball down low, Vucevic going to work on the block. Shoots over Dalembert. High off the glass and no good. Evans kicks it over to Ellis. Bounces it back. Ellis puts up the jumper from the baseline. So even with the changing of the guard, Kansas City has been able to hold their own here. Ball up top. Matthews for three. So Kansas City pulling out to as much as 4. Now it's back down to 1. Here's Johnson, though. Trying to keep the Racers at bay, even though they have shot 9% better. Dragic up top. Korver puts up the 3 instantly and can't knock it down. Evans going to work inside. Gets it over to Dalembert. Back out. Ellis for 3. An 11-3 run here for the Kansas City Monks. Exacting vengeance after their double-digit loss to Lehigh Valley. They do not want to go out 0-2. What are the Racers to do? We'll find out. Timeout with 6:08 left in the second quarter. .608 left here in the second quarter, and all the starters are back in the game for both sides. Vucevic the most open, according to Greg Monroe. Gets it down low. Lillard goes up and draws the foul. Lillard just gets back into the game, and he's already aggressive on the low block, and he goes up and draws the foul. So he's at the line. Foul called on Ellis, of course. In terms of the scoring boat race, Ellis is far ahead as Lillard's able to finish off the and-one opportunity. So 7 for Damian Lillard, and we're almost halfway through the second quarter. Now we are a second away from halfway through the second quarter. Kansas City calls timeout right with 6:01 left in the second, still ahead by 3. Six minutes left in the second quarter. Kansas City were calling a timeout, even though they're ahead. Just wanted to get a few things straight. Ball down low to Dalembert. Great cut underneath. And now all the starters have scored, as Dalembert was the last holdout. Here's Lillard, works inside the floater just past the outstretched hands of Ellis and still can't pull it off. Johnson to Ellis. Ellis loses the ball. Thompson almost came up with it, and he will off of the miss. Forced at the shot clock buzzer. George to an open Klay Thompson, and that is always trouble. Thompson, one of those players, if he has a lot of space and he's putting up a 3, you know it's going in almost instantly. So 2-point game. Ellis missing, Monroe coming down with the board, and Omaha has the chance to tie or take the lead. It's Thompson, that's a 2 if it's good, it is. And so it seems at the drop of a hat, Omaha's back in the game. After being down by as much as 7. Ellis goes inside, blocked. I believe that was Monroe with the block. I'm sure with less aggressive defensive teams in the post, that would have most certainly been a beautiful layup by Monta Ellis. Oh, and George tries to fly in. He goes down hard. He's okay, though, and he's able to knock down the two. Omaha takes the lead in spectacular fashion. Oh, but Joe Johnson has something to say about that. He'll knock down the long two, and it is tied back up at 49. We have a good game here as we're nearing halftime, 49 all. Both teams shooting above 50% as well. George almost loses the ball, trying to get past Johnson here. Tight defense by Joe Johnson, and Monroe can't pull off the hook shot. Beautiful sky hook there, by the way. Johnson, long three, and that will put Kansas City back ahead as Joe Johnson has gotten himself going here in the second quarter. 9 here in the second frame after coming into the quarter with only 2. So he joins Monta Ellis' double-digit scores for the Monks. Thompson answering back, he can't. 17 heading into the half here for Ellis. And it's gonna be more. He could end up with 20 off the and one opportunity. Klay Thompson called for his first. So we've had 4 games come to pass here in the CBL as Jeremy Tyler comes in for Kansas City. And we had the overtime game between Mexico City and Seattle last week. As Ellis does, in fact, have 20 now. And that was a great game throughout. But this one is probably the first one where it was almost shootout style. Both teams are putting up shots and knocking them down. And as I say that, George misses. And even when teams haven't missed, when they've gone into transition, it has been a horse race up and down the floor. So it's been a good one here. Has not disappointed from Omaha. And the home team trying to stay in this, and they get the second chance opportunity. It's 55-49. Ellis leading all scores with 20 points. George gets Johnson to bite on the fake and still can't convert. Bounce pass ahead to Johnson. He'll lay it in. It's an 8-point game. So Johnson now has 13. Omaha will call timeout here. They're losing control. 1:19 left in the second. Ball inbounded to Lillard out of the timeout. And Thompson loses control of the ball. Evans can't get there in time. He had a beat on it. I'm surprised he couldn't dive for it or go for it. But all the same, the Monks will get the ball off of the turnover. So I suppose no harm, no foul there. Tyler inbounds it to Eli. Looks like Slaughter's going to have his guys, some of his guys, sit out here to close out the quarter. Evans going inside, hands it off Melvin. Eli, reverse layup is good. 12-0 run here for the Kansas City Monks, and they're up by 10. This is the team that you expected to see when they debuted against Lehigh Valley last week. Not sure where that team went, but here they are. They look good on paper, and they're looking good out on the court. Oh, but sometimes you just can't defend certain shots. Shot way outside by Paul George. Still closes the gap to 7. Kansas City going to close out the quarter with a comfortable lead. But again, this is the Monks team as they play on paper. And they have done very well here in the first half. And they're going to look for continued fortunes in the second half. Ellis can't get the lead back up to 10, but Jeremy Tyler can get the shot and can put it up to 10 off of the and one opportunity. So Tyler's first points of the game. And he does pull off the and one opportunity. So 3 quick points there for Jeremy Tyler. And it's back to a 10-point game. Lillard rushing up the floor, wants to close the gap, wants to get some momentum here. Will Ellis let him? He does with 0.3 on the clock. So 9 points here early for Lillard. But nothing compares to the amazing performance we've seen out of the Kansas City Monks. They are ahead at the half, 62-54. 62-54 here from CenturyLink Center in Omaha, Nebraska, as we kick off week 2 with what has been a game, a shootout that has gone at a torrid pace. Combined 116 points from both sides. 53% shooting out of Kansas City, 55% shooting from Omaha. And hopefully, for our sake, neither team has any signs of letting up. Monta Ellis certainly doesn't. He kicks off the quarter with a 3. He had 20 coming into the third quarter, and now he has 23. So this looks like this could shape up to be a big game for Monta Ellis. Thompson knocking down the jumper. And so the Racers will start things off in earnest here in the second half. Here's Johnson, long pass to Garnett. Back out Johnson. Tries inside as the defenders collapse in the paint. Misses. Rebound by Dalembert. He'll go up and draw the foul. He won't get the 2, so Vucevic on his second foul will force Dalembert to earn his points at the line. Samuel Dalembert out of Seton Hall, 8.7 rebounds. And an assist, steal, and block each. Can't make the first one. He'll try to do better on the second. And he does. 1 of 2 from the line. Samuel Dalembert now has 3 points. Klay in the corner, knocks it down. Long 2. Klay shot very well today, 6 of 8 from the field. That's 14. Garnett facing up with Monroe. Monroe tried to use that opportunity to slap the ball away, and instead he draws the reach-in foul. Sideline inbounds for Dalembert. 10:18 left in the third quarter. Garnett to Ellis. And he'll pull up for the jumper and miss. Vucevic with the board. George finds an opening, goes in, lays it in, and can't. But he'll draw the foul, the first on Garnett. At the line for 2. George makes his first free throw. Still in that long process of recovering from that injury last summer. that he suffered during a U.S. Olympic team scrimmage. Was able to get in the last 6 games of the season for the Pacers. And now Omaha trying to utilize his services. They played very well last week. 17 points over London. Evans kicks it over. Johnson, long 2 is good. So Johnson has 15. A lot of big-time scores out here. The producers absolutely producing. Thompson working his way inside, kicks it back out to George. 8-point game. Kansas City been cruising early on here in the second half. George goes up, loses control in the process, and here comes Kansas City the other way. Ellis ends up out of bounds. His path to the basket on the baseline was cut off by Greg Monroe. Timeout called. Kansas City very much happy. They are hanging on to an 8-point lead, 68-60 with 9:06 left in the third. Kicking off week 2 action here on a Thursday. FBS college football getting underway tonight. But the CBL beat football to it. Getting started last week. This is week 2. Some teams looking to build off of big performances like the 40-point win Omaha had over London. And other teams trying to get a bit of revenge, a bit of redemption. As Kansas City calls timeout, they lost to Lehigh Valley to start off the season, 94-77, but they're ahead by 6 with 8:46 left in the third. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying this game, which in terms of pace has slowed down a little bit, but should get back up to a torrid speed, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network for more action. Ellis kicks it over. Evans for 3. That one bounces around in the rim and in. 9 points here for Tyreke Evans, producing much more than he did in that loss. George responding with a 2 of his own. First field goal of the third quarter here for Paul George. He has 17, matching his total from last week. Oh, that pass intended for Johnson. That one goes over his head like a bad joke. So we have substitutions coming in here. George on the perimeter. Goes inside, lays it up and in. 71-66. Omaha hasn't gained much headway here in the third quarter. As Kansas City has been able to hold serve, but as Paul George gets his first foul, Kansas City's trying to hang on to that lead while also keeping their players rested as some substitutions come in. Tyreke Evans open for 3. He got it. Here's Lillard. He'll pull up. Long 2. No good. Monroe with the offensive board. Hook shot up and in. 8 points for Monroe, and he can get 9. Just look at that. Tenacious on the boards and not afraid to go back up. Because usually if you get enough contact, you'll be rewarded. Greg Monroe has played his entire career in Detroit, in his entire professional career in Detroit. Signed a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. And you see him getting the and one. You see him picking up the and one here for Omaha, so he's definitely been a Midwestern guy his entire career. Here's Beasley, long two, rolls in and out. Eli loses another rebounding battle here to Monroe. Thompson up top, Lillard for three, knocks that down. And now it's back to a 2-point game. Omaha storming the castle while a lot of the starters are out. Evans is still in the game, but that's about it. Burke, the long two, no good. Monroe, another board. George ahead to Lillard. That's blocked by Burke, but Thompson able to collect the offensive board. Misses the shot, gets the offensive board again, and ties the game at 74. 6 points in the quarter for Klay Thompson. Kansas City has been up by as much as 11 and yet have allowed the game to tie up again. Eli handling the ball, gets it cross court. Evans, bounce pass down low to Tyler. And Klay Thompson getting a little too excited on the play. So Thompson called for his second. Burke, long two is good, so Kansas City will regain the lead. Open lane for George, and he has no problem putting it up and in. 8 in the quarter here for Paul George. 8 in the paint overall, and 21 points total. Burks to Burke, playing a two-man game here. And they'll finish off with a Burke three-point attempt. No good. Burks is not able to get the rebound. It's Noel all over that. Omaha starting to pull ahead in the defensive and the rebound margin, +5 at the moment. Lillard trying to fight inside. A lot of bumping forces him to take it out, and George misses the three. Burke goes inside in the corner to Burke. Back up to Burke. Almost got twisted there on which Burke and which was Burke's. But Burke, Trey Burke, singular, able to drive it in the lane. And once again, keeping the Monks ahead. Great shooting numbers out of both teams. And I will credit just good shooting ability and not necessarily the defense, because we've seen a lot of good blocks. We just saw a good crossover there by Lillard, breaking the ankles of Trey Burke. Bringing up the floor. We'll see if he'll retaliate. Beasley tries and is unsuccessful. 78 all. Noel faking the shot in the post, gets it to Thompson at the top of the key instead. Omaha takes the lead. 18 points, 8 here in the quarter. Burke for three. Cannot get the lead back for Kansas City. Here comes George. The floater no good. Noel, the offensive board, goes up, draws the foul. Second on Beasley. Third team. So 3:06 left here in the third quarter. And both teams shooting video game numbers. necessarily at the line. But while the first half numbers were just over 50%, the numbers have been astronomical here in the opening stages of the second half. At one point there, Omaha shooting nearly 70% from the field. And as you see, that's led to some big-time scores. Noel, 0 for at the line. Joe Johnson able to sail in and tie the game up back at 80. Lillard against Ellis. Lillard over Ellis. Missed by Burks. And here comes Omaha. Omaha up. 2-point lead. George able to extend it ever so slightly. That's 10 in the quarter here for Paul George as he gets going. Ellis has only shot a 3 here in the third quarter, and now he also lays it in, so he now has 25. There are the field goal numbers as they stand for the entire game. Just amazing numbers out of both teams. George over to Vucevic. Missing. Rebound by Garnett. Now it's Beasley going to work against Noel. Kicks it back out. Ellis with enough space. Can't knock down the 3. He had the opportunity there, as George was not able to get back and contest in time. Ball for George. Fadeaway jumper off the spin, no good. Rebound by Noel under the basket. Shoots it over Garnett. Noel now has 5. Could conceivably have had more if he could have done better with his free throws here in this game. Here's Johnson, hands it off. Beasley laying it up and in. Great pick and roll there from 2 big men, Joe Johnson and Michael Beasley. Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics. Here's Lillard. Up top, George. Final seconds here of the third quarter. And George goes up. He'll draw the foul. That'll be on Johnson. His first.
Paul George at the line for 2.
So George has had a heck of a third quarter here. He was knocking down trays back in the first. Came out of that half with 13 off of 3 made 3-pointers. Makes the first free throw. But now he's really been attacking the basket here in this game, or staying inside the perimeter at least. He's knocked down 3 free throws now and 4 2-point field goals here in the third quarter. I'll look to tack on one more here. 20 4/10 of a second. So George comes out with 12 here for a grand total of 25. 12 in the quarter for a grand total of 25. Ball underneath. Dalembert tried to put it up instantly and ends up drawing the foul. That's the second on Tristan Thompson. It's Dalembert that'll have to earn his points at the line here. 4-point margin. First shot's up and in. Second free throw made in the quarter here for Samuel Dalembert. Dalembert was 2 of 3 from the line last week against Lehigh Valley. And he makes the second one. 3 points here in the quarter, all off of free throws. 5 total for Sam. Ball ahead to Matthews. And just as Kansas City was creeping closer, Matthews knocks down a 3. Ellis puts it up. Oh, on target, no good. So just when it looked like it was going to end closer, Matthews tacks on a 3, makes it a 5-point game, 91-86, heading into the final quarter of regulation. It's CBL basketball on the Coliseum Sports Network. Welcome back. Fourth quarter about to get underway. It's first game of week 2. Next game up will take us south of the border and out of the country for the first time this season, as the Las Vegas Silver Stars will head down to the beautiful, spacious Mexico City Arena, all 22,000 seats of it, to take on the Guerreros. That'll be tomorrow here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Greg Monroe starting the quarter off with a made 2-pointer. He now has 11. So big performances out of the expected scores here in the game for both sides. Evans pulls up, baseline, knocks down the jumper. And after that 2-point performance last week, what a relief it is to see Tyreke Evans back at it. Closest. There's been a close game throughout. The largest lead has been 11 out of Kansas City. Dragic under the basket, gets the shot and the foul. So Goran Dragic at the line. He scored once in the first and second quarter. And now here he is with the and one opportunity. Or not the and one opportunity, but drawing the foul to start off the quarter. And both free throws good for Goran Dragic. So a 7-point lead, just like that. Was a 2-point game with mere seconds left in the third quarter. Then Wesley Matthews knocks down a 3. Verticality, and Omaha comes up with the ball. Reach-in foul there. That's the second on Evans. Vucevic inbounding. Out pops Thompson. He sees an opening. He takes advantage. 20 points here for Klay Thompson. He had 8 in the third quarter and 5 in each of the first and second. Johnson in the corner. Ball bounced around into the hands of Vucevic. Thompson pulls up, jumper's good. And now that ties the largest lead on either side at 11. 22 points out of Klay Thompson. Now we've seen Kansas City up by 11 and they lost that lead. Can Kansas City do the same against Omaha here? 99-88, 9:36 left, and Burke will try to get that charge going. 10 points from Trey Burke off the bench. 9-point game. Time running out here on the 8-second clock. And Thompson able to bail himself out. Gets the ball ahead to Dragic. Thompson squaring up for three. He got it. 25 for Klay Thompson. And this has been his half. 102-90, 9-12 left in the fourth quarter. As Omaha's looking to pull away for win number 2. 2 straight home games to start off the season for Omaha. Their next game will be out on the road this time next week. They'll be in Pennsylvania, beautiful Allentown, to take on the Lehigh Valley Jets, the same ones that will go to London on Sunday, same ones that dispatched these very Monks in the first game of the season. Kansas City, meanwhile, they will host the London Bulldogs next Sunday. Shot missed by Dalembert. Ball ahead to Dragic. George up top. That play looked like it was going to be for Klay, but he canceled out of it. He didn't make the cut all the way around, but George is just fine with that. He'll take it in. Hasn't been a shabby half for Paul George either. George with 12 in the third, and now he has 14 here total in the second half. Garnett under the basket. Sometimes you got to keep it simple. He hasn't scored since the first quarter, but they're going to need him down the stretch. Here's Dragic speeding past Burke into the front court. Monroe bounces out. Thompson, long shot, no good. Vucevic with the offensive board and tries to kick it out to George to reset the offense, but that one will go over George's head, and that will go to the Monks. Considering that we've watched 2 consecutive home games for the Racers, we haven't seen how they look out on the road. Of course, magenta and light blue aren't colors that you would expect, but those are the ones that the Racers wore for the better part of their history here in Omaha in the CBA. But on the road, they're going to be sporting some snazzy black to go along with the magenta and blue trim. So look forward to that as they head over to Pennsylvania next week. Thompson laying it in. 106-92. So Omaha trying to put the pedal to the metal here in the late stages of this game. This is what happened to Kansas City last week. Joe Johnson trying to stem the tide. Tough D out here in the backcourt. Can Evans hold down Thompson? Long pass over George, his head. So great defense there by Tyreke Evans. And even when the production wasn't there, in terms of offensive production, you do have to admit Evans was great on the defensive end last week. Held Kobe Bryant to 8 points. Shot missed, ball ahead to Thompson. Hasn't done the best job with Thompson. But that may just be a matter of scheme. He's done what he's could, and he was able to force that last turnover. Evans against Thompson. Thompson forced to put it up. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Still a 12-point game with only 6:23 left in the fourth, so there's still a comeback chance here for Kansas City if they can get something going. Here's Burke straight away, and that's a 3. It's not over yet in the eyes of Trey Burke. 13 on the day. And George missing the shot. Dalembert, top of the key. Burke zooms past Lillard, kicks it over Johnson in the corner, and that's good. 7-point game. Here's Thompson straddling the half-court line. Ball to George. He saw an opening. He took advantage. .29 points, and I'm sure that's not going to be his last points he scores here in this game. And surely not the last point scored for Trey Burke. The Monks are on a 12-4 run. They're just going to need a little bit more pedal to the metal here if they want to get back in it, as they are down by 6. Monroe goes up, draws the foul. It'll be Dalembert, his first. So he's gone through the game essentially unscathed. First shot, no good. And he can't make the second one either. That's very crucial here down the stretch. So Kansas City still only down by 6 after 2 free throws from Greg Monroe. Evans gets it ahead to Dalembert. The over-the-shoulder pass. 4-point game now. George finds an opening. He pulled off enough footwork that he saw a gap in the defense and he cut right through it. 31 points here for Paul George. Burke gets past Lillard and past Vucevic. And Burke has been hot here in the fourth quarter. George kicks it over. Thompson. The jumper no good. Rebound by Dalembert. Ball to Garnett. Evans going inside. Draws the foul. But the shot wasn't anywhere close. So Lillard's first foul. They sent Evans to the line at just the right time. Kansas City going to really need these points down the stretch here with 3:06 left in the fourth. First one up and in. And the second shot is good. 110, 108. So just like we saw with Kansas City's 11-point lead, Omaha's 11-point lead is slowly being erased. Just over 3 minutes left. Thompson for 3. Trying to keep Kansas City at bay. So now Klay Thompson has 30. Just amazing nights out of both of them, but Trey Burke cannot be denied. Burke has 13 in the fourth quarter alone. And he brings Kansas City within 2, 113, 111, 2:26 left in the fourth. So Ellis comes back in the game. Burke had the hot hand, but Bernard Slaughter going to bring in his starter and see if Monte can take care of business the rest of the way. Ball inbounded to Vucevic. Tries to get it to Lillard. Turnover. Dalembert slowly making his way up the floor. Weren't going to expect much of a fast break opportunity out of Sammy, but bless his heart for trying. Vucevic called for his third as Ellis ends up zooming ahead to draw the foul. So 113-111 with Monta at the line, having the opportunity to tie this game up. And he can't do it. First shot, no good. Can he at least bring it within one? He can. So 1 of 2 from the line. Those are the first points scored in this quarter by Monta. 6 in the second half after he had 20 in the first. Lillard pulls up. Ellis was not there. And for that reason, Lillard able to put Omaha ahead. 115-112, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It has been a barn burner all evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. (115-112) from CenturyLink Center here in Omaha. We are in the 2-minute drill to go along with college football starting off tonight at the FBS level. And surely there will be more games like this heading into week 2. So be sure to subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network for more of this type of action. Ellis goes in and lays in the floater. Trying to redeem himself for that missed free throw that could have tied this game up. Kansas City down by 1. Here we are, final stages. Trying to get the ball underneath to Monroe, but there to kick the ball away is Kevin Garnett. 1:46 on the clock, fresh 14 on the shot clock. Here's Lillard. He gets past Ellis, but then loses the ball. Evans on the run here. Ball ahead to Ellis, and he lays it in. Shot, the foul, and the lead for Kansas City. Not a lot of happy fans here at the CenturyLink Center as Ellis finishes off the three-point play, and that gives Kansas City a 2-point lead, 117-115 with 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. Monroe will give it off to Lillard. Omaha looking to tie the game, kicks it out. George wide open for 3, and he can't capitalize. Rebound by Kansas City. And this is the moment in time where another field goal could be huge and still can't come up with it. Here's Klay Thompson ahead to Monroe. Pulls up, baseline jumper, no good. So now Kansas City once again has the opportunity, and now with 1 minute left in the fourth. Just another field goal. Just being ahead by 4 could be more than enough to decide the game. Ellis against Lillard, blocked! And Omaha once again has the opportunity to tie. It's real down the stretch here, ladies and gentlemen. Thompson against Evans. And a traveling violation. A turnover. I think that was on Vucevic. Unsure of what to do with the ball. And Omaha almost giving away the game here in the later stages. Vucevic has had a lot of questionable turnovers here in this game. And then there's another questionable turnover on the Kansas City end. Who is going to budge here down the stretch? George Vucevic goes up, misses, and he'll have to earn his points at the line. That's Dalembert's second. Vucevic has not had a good game. You look at the 30 points from Klay Thompson and the 30-plus points from Paul George, and Damian Lillard having a big night, and Greg Monroe cleaning up the messes. But Vucevic has just had it roughed. And now they need him the most. He makes the first free throw. The next one will tie things up with 19.5 left in the fourth. And mind you, the shot clock is off, as you can see on your scored graphic in the bottom right corner of your screen. So this is huge. And he got it. So Vucevic, he's turned the ball over multiple times. He just traveled inside of 2 minutes left in the game. And yet here he is getting 2 crucial free throws. Will it be enough? Can Omaha make the big stop here down the stretch, or can Kansas City run away with their first win of the season? And in a 10-game season, it's very crucial. You do not want to go down 0-2. Especially when there's 4 teams and only 2 slots to give out in a conference here in the postseason. Kansas City, are they holding for the shot here? Ellis with the ball. Trying to fight his way inside. He's just going to go for 2. That's really all they really need. Dalembert got it off the backboard and in with 3.3 left. And we're going to have a timeout here. We'll find out what Omaha's line of thinking here is in the final 3.3 seconds of the game. Are they going to go for the win? Or are they going to try to tie here? Neither of those are necessarily wrong answers. If you want to go for the win, you got some clutch players in your lineup. But if you want to tie it, you have to believe that Eugene Floyd trusts his team enough to take care of business with 5 extra minutes. Will we be seeing our second overtime of the season? No. Lillard's going to have to go for it. 3-pointer is in and out. And Kansas City will come away with the win as they hang on 119-117. So another high-scoring game for the Racers, but it still puts them in the loss column. So both teams 1-1, and that's round 1 of this regional rivalry. We thank you for joining us here at the CenturyLink Center. I'm Raymond Sims. Be sure to tune in the rest of the week. Have a good one.